So she says to me, what are you sitting there making me play checkers? Said, drive me over to the hospital.
Yeah? Having a baby?
Yeah. So I says, oh, boy, get in the car. And I drive through red lights getting her there. Whoosh. I got a reason. I'm going to be a father. Absolutely.
Pardon me, I'm curious. Was it a boy or a girl?
No decision. Nothing. Absolutely nothing since yesterday. But it's going to be a boy. Look, fellas, I got to get out of here. 5 minutes ago, they called me. Hey, here, have a cigar. Be the first. Help yourself.
Real nice of you, Dad.
Thanks very much.
I meant, you know, one.
You don't want to see the gun, do you?
It's a hold-up, mister.
And the keys to the car.
Oh, give me a break. I got to get to the hospital.
Sorry. Take a cab. And buy something for the baby.
And don't move, please.
Sorry.
The stories that shock a nation, move them, make them laugh, begin here. Like this one. I'm Paul Stewart. When he was police reporter for the Boise, Idaho Statesman, Clayton Darrow was a very young man. This is his only excuse for one of the wildest hunches in newspaper history. It dealt with the crime wave that had Boise police hanging on the ropes for months. How it ended was even more startling. They're rolling. The presses are rolling on Deadline.
Get away from my desk, Mr. Darren. Keep out of my hair today.
The depredations of two polite bandits have now grown into something sinister. In the short time of 2 weeks, the so-called phantom bandits, one tall, one short, to quote the accepted description, have robbed no less than a dozen business establishments. Now look, I didn't write that editorial. I'm News, a police reporter.
Yeah. Tell them to wait outside. Get going.
The callers from the Businessmen's Association?
You can join the rest of your reporters.
I'm the only one here.
Well, that's great. Then you can get going.
You know, when they're through, they're gonna blast you with the commissioner. I was tipped off from the inside. I need you for my story, but you need me as an impartial witness.
All right, send them in.
We're tired of excuses, Captain.
I don't make excuses to anybody, including the commissioner.
Well, don't be so cocky about it. What are you going to do?
We're not going to leave till you answer our questions.
When are all of these store holdups going to stop?
And what are you going to do that you haven't done so far to see that they do stop?
Look, what do you think a cop is? A magician? One tall, one short. They're both polite. And that's all. You two are polite, you make hot suspects.
Come on, George.
We know what we have to do.
Sorry.
All right, that's all, Joe. Make 2 copies.
3.
Now let him go to the commissioner. He knows these crimes came off without a hitch. They were cold, they were calculated, professional. And what clues? Hello. Put them on. Yes, Commissioner, they were just here. Oh, I'm sure they're on their way over to see you. I know the pressure's on you, sir. Sir, would you give me 24 hours? Thank you, sir. You can quote me on this. I promise you, this town will go through the tightest ringer it's ever seen. In the next 24 hours, we'll have a complete roundup with all available forces.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
Number 54. Walter Brill. No address. 5 charges of vagrancy. 2 charges of disorderly conduct. 1 charge breaking and entering. No convictions. Anybody recognize him? Are you sure? Nobody? All right, stand aside. The other side, Walter. Number 55. Russell Rickett, Homestead, Florida. Gambling, 3 counts. Petty larceny, 4 counts. 1 conviction. Simple assault, 2 counts. 1 conviction. Recognize him? Now take a good look at him, folks. This guy's a 2-time loser. Anybody recognize him?
Wait a minute.
Something on your mind, Mr. Whibley?
Could I maybe go up there and see something?
Go ahead. For the 10th time.
Oh, could he maybe stand there a little
Stand
closer?
alongside of him, Brill.
Have a cigar? I mean it, for your trouble light. Go on. Nah, the real one would have said no, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whibley. All right, that's all for today.
I think not, Captain Jenks.
Nice paper today, eh, Sully?
Yeah, the heat's off. And it'll be a pleasure again.
Yeah.
What's the use of having a perfect alibi and not using it? What a shirt. $10. Let's get another dozen.
Okay, but first, let's knock off that little place across the street with the cigarette lighters. You know, sterling silver, guaranteed for life.
We got enough of that stuff.
Yeah, but we're in for a life. Maybe the guarantee don't work, huh? Gee, I thought we had this made, but we have no mirror. That's my one complaint about this place. Never can tell how my tie is coming out. How's it working? How's it look? Tell me.
Nice and neat.
Yeah?
But it's the nut again. When are you going to learn? It's too big.
Well, don't criticize, fix it. Come on, hurry up, will you? I can hardly wait to get out of here.
Yeah, that's right. This last time really did it. Yeah, I'm waiting for him right now. Keep a line open, will you? Yes, so long.
Are you Captain Jenks?
No, he's on his way back from the commissioner's office. I'm a reporter.
I had to let him know exactly how it happened. How they came right into the rectory after services and...
Oh, you must be Mr. Crane, huh? In charge of the collection box?
Yes.
The latest victim of the Phantom Bandits.
Why, yes. That is the church.
Suppose you tell me about this, Mr. Crane.
Well, is it still proper to address you as Police Captain Jenks?
Why don't you ask the commissioner? What's on your mind, Mr. Crane?
Well, I want to help you all I can to apprehend these terrible, terrible thieves.
Thank you.
Now, I came into the rectory from the church. Let's say from this door here. With a collection box in my hands. Oh, it was a fine collection. I put it on the, let's say this is the rectory table. when suddenly, at the base of my spine, I felt a pressure. A gun. I turned and saw the two men. The tall one had a gun, and the short one took the money from the box. Then he took my Bible.
I don't believe you told that to the detectives on Sunday, did you?
I forgot. Then he said something about it being a good joke on the screws, whatever that means. Then they both just tipped their hats and walked away.
Are you all right, Mr. Crane? What are you looking at?
That gray streak on his forehead. One of the robbers had a gray streak, too.
You mean like mine?
So what?
No. Wait a minute. Mr. Crane, are you sure?
As sure as I am of anything.
The tall one had a gray streak like mine, and the short one made the remark about the Bible being a good joke on the screws?
Yes, yes.
Wait a minute. Captain, look. It's 1,000,000 to 1 shot, but I know a guy, a tall guy, if it is the guy.
A friend of yours, huh?
I once interviewed a guy with a gray streak in his hair exactly like mine. That's how I remember him.
Who is he?
Well, he plays first base on the prison ball team. I cover all their games.
Prison ball team?
Yes, his name is Frank Sully. He's got a gray streak in his hair exactly like mine. And the short guy, the one who made the crack about the screws, that could be his buddy, Robertson. They both work in the prison mailroom.
Thanks very much, Dara.
Oh, look, couldn't we just ask the warden about it, no matter how wild the idea...
You ask him. First baseman on the prison ball team.
Warden, to tell you the truth, I'm a little embarrassed. I mean, I've had some time to think it over now, and the whole thing sounds so impossible that...
What are you trying to tell me, Mr. Dow?
Well, sir, do you think it's possible that the Phantom Bandits could be Sully and Robertson?
Well, I've heard a lot of wild ones before. But Mr. Darrow, as my young daughter would say, this is just too far out.
I told him that, Warden. I said it's impossible.
Well, nothing is impossible, but this...
Well, look, sir, granted, it's the greatest of improbabilities. I mean, 1,000,000 to 1 shot, if ever there was one, but shouldn't every possibility, no matter how unlikely, be eliminated?
Main entrance and exit, 24-hour guard. Commissary entrances and exits, 24-hour guard. Hospital entrance and exit, 24-hour guard. Factory, maintenance, incinerator, garage, mail, and general receiving, the same. Towers and walls, the same 24-hour guard. Over 300 men around the clock. Against all that, and radar, and other electronic devices, and vigilance over every square inch of this institution?
Okay, Warden, okay, so I'm plain out of my mind. Can we prove it?
Yes, we can. Well, Mr., what was his name?
Mr. Crane.
Mr. Crane. Will Mr. Crane cooperate?
Well, sir, if you ask him, I'm sure he will.
Gentlemen, we will eliminate this charge, or prove it.
This is the life.
I'm getting restless, though. How about some of that good Chinese sub-gum chow mein?
When?
Tomorrow night?
I'll have some Chinese pepper steak. With the almonds.
Nothing today, Mike. Tell you what, why don't you write a letter to those guys in Cuba about the cigar somebody snitched? Meanwhile, have a couple of mine. My sister sent me some fresh ones yesterday. Give one to the new screw, Mike. Just one big happy family, huh?
Why, he even called me a screw.
Mr. Crane, are you sure?
Well, he had the same gray streak in his hair.
I still don't buy it.
And his voice is the same, too. That man was one of the Phantom Bandits.
Mr. Crane, do you read many detective stories?
No, sir.
But you do have an imagination, and you want to help find the bandits. And you think it's the same gray streak of hair. But you're not absolutely certain. And you're just a wee bit ashamed of having put us to all this trouble. And you don't want us to be disappointed. So you say that you are sure. Isn't that so?
No, that is not so.
Are you trying to tell me that 2 prisoners got out and then back in again 13 different times safely?
I don't know, sir. But they're the men who stole the Sunday collection and took my Bible.
Warden, I could be all wet, but I think maybe I know how they could have done it.
Look, Dara, you got enough of a story here to write about it for a month. Now, why don't you get out of here?
Captain, the boy's been pretty hot so far. Why not let him throw the dice one more time? What's your idea?
Well, sir, I think it's obvious that they have an ironclad alibi.
If they are the bandits.
Well, yes, of course, there's always that if. But if they are, they have a perfect alibi. Therefore, sir, it seems to me that the only possible way to prove this thing is to catch them at it.
He's absolutely right. Taking Mr. Darrow's assumption for just a moment, Captain, the one place in this prison in which there's regular movement in and out is the
mailroom.
Precisely.
Yes, but how is it possible for us to catch them at it?
Why don't you take Mr. Crane home? Captain Jenks and I have some work to do.
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, can your paper run a story tomorrow about the Phantom Bandits having been spotted perhaps in, Salt Lake City?
Yes, sir. I think that could be arranged.
All right. You'll hear from me. Thank you, sir. Now Mr. Darrow's going to drive you home. What we want to do is catch them right in the act. Now let me show you the layout. The mail leaves through this gate. The trucks are wheeled out through this electric eye, down this corridor, through this gate, onto the loading platform.
my camera! Sully, how did you do it?
You caught us at it.
Come on now, nobody breaks out of a prison that easily.
Well,
You might as well tell them we're not going to get a chance again soon.
well, if you're nice to guys, they're kind of nice to you. I mean, the cons wanted little things, so we got them for them.
But you had to get yourselves in and out of these mail bags. You had to be dropped off before you got to the post office.
They were always willing to oblige. I mean, guys are human wherever you go. Those guys that drive the trucks, they ain't no different. I got pals on the outside.
So you give a little and you get a little, huh?
Yeah, you could say that.
What, are you going to try it again?
I wish we could. We sure could use the change. You know, we're lifers.
All right, inside with both of them.
The ingenuity of the human mind is staggering on both sides of the law. But evil, no matter how much disguised with polite or clever trappings, remains evil just the same. But since the piper must be paid, the two ingenious bandits were returned to prison and are now serving out their sentences. Or are they?